I believe I'm live. Is this true? I'm live? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode where we'll talk about, let me minimize that. Where we're going to talk about, how much Americans think they need to stop worrying about money. This is a huge issue that a lot of Americans are really going through and struggling right now. Just for the simple fact of that everything right now is just expensive. Everything right now is insanely expensive, and um, so we're just trying to look at. Let me move this here. Um, Look at this article that was released by CBS News earlier, um, and just kind of just looking and just making sure that a lot of stuff what Americans are going through right now. As you guys know that we are live currently on TikTok and YouTube. My YouTube is Chavez Financial. So make sure to tune into that. If you guys are on here, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome and great. If I'm having any technical issues, just let me know, and I will go ahead and make sure that everything is good to go. But if you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to comment down below, and just yeah, just ask your questions away, and we will just be here whether it comes to finances or um, whether it comes to finance or uh, any type of money, essentially. But it says many Americans remain on financially precarious ground after years of high inflation and elevated borrowing costs, but they also have a dollar figure in mind for how much money they need to make to stop worrying about their daily expenses. Because as you guys know, everything is becoming way more expensive than it should be, um, which is crazy. Um, like just a lot of stuff is becoming a lot more expensive, and just for average Americans it's becoming to be a lot. Let me just adjust this to fit the screen. um, but yeah, if you guys are on here, let me make this smaller. Oh, I can't do that. um, there it is. I think that's good. The screen looks good, guys. What's good, Isaiah? How you guys doing? But it says almost 6 out of 10 people say that they need to earn at least $100,000 a year to stop feeling anxious about their bills, according to a new report from Edelman Financial Engines. About half of the group pegged that amount even higher at 200,000 per year or more, the financial service firms found. Well, inflation has skyrocketed through the roof since the Biden administration has been in office, in my opinion. But again, at the end of the day, your finances should not be depending on the presidential candidate. Um, if you are broke and you're blaming it on the president or whoever's in office, then you have a bigger issue than you think. So make sure there are issues that come along with presidential candidacy, but it is your job as an American, especially as an entrepreneur, to adjust to that. But it says the study Edelman's third annual Everyday Wealth in America report finds that Americans generally do not feel wealthy, and many are anxious about their finances, ranging from wallowing in the credit card debt to concerns about the November presidential election could impact their finances. Like I said before, if you will have a bigger problem with your finances if you continue to blame the presidential debate or whoever the presidential candidate. Yes, it has to do a lot with inflation, but at the end of the day, um, at the end of the day, you should be adjusting to that, because I've met a lot of clients, I've met a lot of people saying, hey, it doesn't matter who's president, I'm still good, all you have to do is just adjust. But it says, let's see, where are we at here? But many people are also looking ahead to retirement, with most expecting to step back from work at the age of 67 or 68. Although 1/3 don't expect to ever be able to fully retire, the findings show. What we are noticing is that many Americans, even those who are affluent, aren't feeling very confident about their financial situation, said Isabel Barrow, Director of Financial Planning at Edelman's. It might be coming from inflation, the election cycle, or things more related to them, such as debt or other headwinds. The sharp jump in the cost of living during the pandemic likely reset Americans' views about the income they would require to stop worrying about paying the bills. Barrow added, for instance, buying a home has become more costly in recent years due to rising real estate prices and mortgage rates, raising a higher barrier to home ownership than that faced by previous generations. Yes, home ownership is becoming more expensive. Yes, to buy a home it's becoming more expensive, but a lot of things are becoming more expensive. Um, but if you guys are on the live, make sure, shoot me a like. Continue to um, uh, and share. If you guys are on the live, tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. If you guys can, I would love that. And it helps a lot. But I will start doing more daily streams. Uh, that way you guys can get covered with everything. But it says, when I was getting out of college, it was a dream to say you could make 100,000. She said, I don't know anybody coming out of college making $100,000 a year, especially with a bachelor's degree. It does To me. It doesn't matter what type of industry, whether you're an engineer, accountant, anything. You're not making $100,000 a year. That's case in point. It is very, very rare. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is very, very rare for you to make that much money and coming out of college. So don't expect when you come out of college with whatever degree you got to hit $100,000 right away. It's it's a very, very low chance. And I'm not trying to be a negative person. I'm just trying to be a realist here. Such an income signal that you knew you made it. But today, a six-figure income is seen more as a basis for stable financial life rather than a sign of wealth or achievement. Only 12% of Americans said they consider themselves wealthy, according to the Edelman study, which surveyed about 3,000 people over the age of 30, and only 4 in 10 people who are objectively wealthy, with assets of more than $2 million, said they could consider themselves rich. The jibes with other recent surveys, including the Northwestern Mutual financial services firm, that found only 1/3 of millionaires consider themselves wealthy. Just because you have $1 million sitting in a bank, or $1 million in general in just hard liquid, that does not make you a millionaire right off the bat. That The IRS doesn't look at you and say, hey, you're a millionaire. They won't classify you as that. A lot of people are millionaires just with assets alone, but you could still not have money. That's just a reality. At the time, anxiety about personal finance has increased from the last year, and been found with roughly a third of respondents saying they're worried this year versus 29% a year ago. That's despite a soaring. Oh, I think you guys can hear my. Soaring stock market and wages have been edging ahead of inflation since May of 2023. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see if anybody's on here. Okay. Let me see this here. How's that? Is that better? I think that's better. I'm drinking some pineapple juice right now. Let me just let this up. Oh. We're still adjusting, guys. We're still adjusting here. Oh. That's perfect. So, with that being said, make sure you guys are looking into all of this financial stuff. At the time, anxiety has skyrocketed within the last year. Edelman found with a roughly third of respondents saying that they're worried that this year versus 29% a year ago. That's despite soaring stock market and wages have been edging ahead of inflation since May 2023. Inflation has skyrocketed to an absurd amount. So make sure you guys are looking into that. But with that being said, inflation remains a top concern. But this year's survey found that it's now tied with the current political environment as Americans' top sources of stress. About 1 in 5 respondents say they've made a financial decision in response to an election, such as changing investments, cutting spending. But such political motivated financial decisions can be a poor move when it comes to investing, Barrow cautioned. That's basically changing your strategy based on future events boils down to market timing, a notorious poor financial strategy, trying to buy and sell stocks to capture gains and avoid losses based on timing can lead to the lost opportunity. Charles Schwab research has found. Try not to take politics and your emotions around it get conflated with your financial picture, Barrow said. Over the long term, it doesn't matter who's in power. The market has trended upward over time. Again, this is why I state all the time, guys, stop worrying about who's in office. It doesn't matter who's in office or not. What matters is that you guys are getting your finances straight. Whether it's Trump or whether it's Kamala, it does not matter who is in office. Please stop dictating that to be your financial burden. So thank you guys for a lot of this. I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, we'll be